We're going to cover a bunch of stuff today, mainly focused on tariffs and cross-border. These guys are each going to have 5 minutes to blow your minds, and Brett's going to kick us off. So please, guys, sit down and get to it. Thanks.
Thank you. So my name is Brett Page. I work with a company called Avalara. For those of you not familiar, we automate sales tax compliance for businesses. But what I'm going to talk about today is trying to change the narrative that compliance is just a finance and tax function. It extends well beyond that into customer experience and overall cart conversion. So kind of the backdrop to all of this is the sales tax and cross-border compliance landscape is incredibly unforgiving and rapidly evolving. It generally evolves faster than tech is adopted, and legacy systems and processes can't keep up with ever-changing rates and rules. Just last year in the United States, we had nearly 100,000 different product and service taxability rule changes, and about 86,000 sales tax holiday updates alone last year. Trade compliance is becoming more a competitive advantage for businesses that can get it right. Okay, so how can your business keep up with these changes, and what's at stake? Well, representation to the customer of what their total cost is upfront is critical. What happens when here we go. It's finally catching up over here. What happens when you don't provide a visibility and transparency into the total upfront cost to a customer? It leaves them with unexpected fees to be able to receive those items at their doorstep. That gets held up in customs. There's fines and penalties for the non-compliant businesses. It leads to a bad customer experience with the over or under charging of customs and duties, and just a overall poor customer experience in those instances. So what Avalara brings to market is a solution that can solve for really the 4 pieces of global compliance trade. The foundation of this is tariff classification, so matching your items to World Trade Organization standards based on the origin and destination countries of a particular transaction. Then, based on that classification, understanding the de minimis thresholds, if there are any, whether customs duty should be applied at all to that particular transaction, and if they should, what the correct duty and tax should be for that particular transaction. So just want to illustrate what we would consider a best practice for e-commerce experience. As you can see here, highlighted in the orange, clearly visible and insight into what the total duties and taxes are, upfront prior to a customer committing payment for an amount that may vary if those amounts aren't displayed up front, again, with the item getting stuck at the border. Behind the scenes, it's a orchestration of all of those puzzle pieces that we talked about previously, but what the customer sees is a very simplistic overview and visibility and transparency into what their total expected amount due is for that particular transaction. All right. So to wrap it all up, commerce next steps, think beyond UX. Surprise fees and misapplied duties are silent killers of customer trust and cart completion. Automate the life cycle, not just the checkouts. Automation across classification, getting that foundational layer right, calculating based on that classification, invoicing and filing the taxes and duties correctly. It's a full, end-to-end process that needs to be considered when looking at expanding internationally. And we would encourage everyone in the room to think of indirect tax as a strategic pillar. Being able to control the amounts that you display to a customer, not overcharging, not undercharging, really empowers your customers, gives them trust, and leads to better overall conversion for your website. For those interested, feel free to scan the QR code, link to my LinkedIn profile, and we can connect further at a later date. Tim with Fishbowl, I'll kick it over to you.
Thank you, Brett. Big round of applause. Beautiful slides, by the way. Awesome team in Avalara. Give yourselves a big round of applause, too, for getting through day one. This is awesome. I'm going to be pretty quick. We're at the end of the day here, kind of informal. Talk a little bit about how we at Fishbowl are working to help you, and also ask a favor on how some of you might be able to help us. What button is it?
It's the middle one. Yeah, that one.
All right. Before I get started, a cool fun fact, something I just learned this weekend from my 12-year-old niece. She came up to me and said, Uncle Tim, do you know Morse code? I want to teach you Morse code. And I thought, I don't want to tell her that I know what Morse code is, because then she'll think that Morse code is old and she won't want to understand it anymore. But you know Morse code, right? The dots and the dashes, dot is A. And we're going down the alphabet, and she's looking at M. M is dot, dash, dash, and I is dot, dot. And she said, oh, is that why it's M, M, I, M, M, I. I'm like, oh, wow, it's a really cool, fun fact I didn't know my entire life, so I'm glad she did this. Speaking of Mission Impossible, being in the commerce ecosystem and being a retailer in 2025, wow, what a year. We had a roundtable earlier today, and the question we opened up with was, what has surprised you this year? And some of the biggest things on the agenda that we talked about were tariffs, TikTok, and a lot of the complexities that are being caused by retailers and getting smart. Marketers now not only need to get smart about acquisition costs, but also where boats are in the ocean. So a lot of the new skills being learned today, and it's been a real challenge. So last year when I spoke, we had really beautiful slides like Avalara's, and some people said, I wish you just would have put some of your things, the notes on the slide, and just let me take a picture so I can read it later. So I'm going to breeze through these next few slides, and if you have your cameras ready, you can just take a picture of it and reference this material later. But the first big point here is that the website has really almost lost a lot of its relevance. Customer acquisition channels are even more fragmented than before. Every time I talk to a retailer, social commerce has doubled in terms of overall volume to their site. And it creates a lot of challenges, because if you have a big TikTok sale and you run out of inventory, your other channels suffer. So there's this need for a real-time connection between your channels. Second big problem that dovetails into is now there's fulfillment complexity on the other end of it. And for those of you who are active in selling on Amazon, you might have seen some of their new rules. It's really interesting. So in order for them to drive demand for your products with the algorithms that they're running, they want you to put an unheard of amount of inventory in stock, but they don't guarantee that they'll sell it all. But if you don't put enough inventory in, you get charged a fee. If you keep that inventory for longer than 30 days, you get another fee. And if you call to complain about this, their solution is to ask you to buy ads. So this is some of the conundrum that a lot of our retail friends are finding themselves into, and a lot of vertically integrated brands at the other end of the spectrum here in this Mission Impossible journey. So orchestrate or die is really the mantra here going into the latter half of this year and early first half of next year. This traditional approach with OMS is becoming very quickly obsolete. And so we're really excited about this problem. We are looking to have real-time order orchestration with really smart AI-driven intelligence around inventory rules and costs, so that e-commerce managers can get a smarter way of handling demand and fulfillment. And so we are looking to get some launch partners around the phase 2 of our product, and we're pretty excited about this problem. So In terms of next steps, investing in real-time orchestration is a key area to prioritize over the next coming months. Fragmentation, auditing, so you understand where demand's happening and where you're investing and getting ahead of that versus having to react to it and pay even more costs. And tying CX margin math and treating order management like you would marketing, like I added it earlier. So we'd love to continue the discussion about this. As we mentioned, we're coming out with a phase 2 of our product. If you're a retailer or a brand who's looking to get smarter about this and actually have our engineering team bolted onto your needs for about a quarter so we can solve some of these problems together, we'd love to talk with you. We have commerce systems, and we also have real-time inventory manufacturing suite. We've been around for a couple decades, and we're super excited about serving a lot of your needs. With that, I'll hand it over. And if you scan that QR code, like you did, leave my email, and my email's at the bottom of it. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
Green.
This one?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So some of you might think, what's Canada Post doing in the building today, right? So in these turbulent times, we're still your friendly neighbor to the north, and we welcome companies to come do business in Canada through consolidation. We've been doing this for a long time. In today's market in Canada, we're rising expectations. We see that 7 in 10 Canadians consider free shipping a must. 6 in 10 consider online purchases to be fulfilled within 2 days. As you know, Canada's vast, and it's a challenge for us, but we're able to do it. 2 days seems to be the norm. And 1 in 2 Canadians returned 50% of their purchases to date. So that's a big opportunity for returns and cross-border to the US. We've been helping a lot of brands coming to Canada, and I know the tariff situation is a little bit tough, but we're dealing with it, and it's business as usual. When it comes to op stacks, each tool in your tech stack is a driver of better customer experience. You know, confidence at checkout, seamless fulfillment and shipping, and hassle-free returns. Similar experience that you would get here with a USPS. Again, Canada Post does not just deliver mail. We're the largest delivery company in Canada. When it comes to powering operations with tech stacks, it's key to have all integrated and working together. Canada Post tools, e-commerce platforms that you all know, shipping software and marketplaces. Putting all these together make a seamless experience to the Canadian customer. We worked with a lot of the big brands in the US, and we welcome more. Candy company, right? Nobody would think of a candy company as a success story, but Canada Post integrates so well with Shopify that at any given moment we can get a picture of how many orders were fulfilled. This particular company went from 0 to about 250,000 shipments in a month just by integrating great solutions with Canada Post and working together. They also do ship to the US. These are my customers actually, and tariffs have not been an issue. It's just working around some of the stuff you said and understanding what it takes. Again, operations aren't just a back end. They're your brand in motion. So step 1 will be understanding and adapting to rising expectations. Convenience is king, fast fulfillment, whether you're shipping directly using a 3PL or a partner. And again, scaling up requires an integrated technology stack and strong partners who share your vision, Canada Post being one of them. Oh, that was fast. Sorry. Thank you.